morning, good morning, you guys. Good morning, you guys. I actually got here at 7:11, so 4 minutes early. I just wanted to say welcome back to my YouTube channel. I literally vlogged the second day of school partially. Like, I feel like there was no intro clip, there was no ending to half of my clips, and then there was no ending at all. So I might throw that footage in at the very end of this vlog so you can like watch it if you want, and you don't have to if you don't want. But I just want to say welcome back to my channel. It is week 2 on a Thursday, and I'm carrying along the hammer today because today is the busiest Thursday I've ever had. I got to school at 10:15, gonna work all day long. We have a staff meeting after school, and then I have a 2-hour mandatory new teacher training. You know, it's 2 hours, like it's a lot. So I know in the end I'll be like, this was beneficial and I'm happy I went. But right now, like 7 a.m., I'm like, oh my gosh, really? I'm not gonna get home until probably 8 p.m. But we're refreshing. It is what it is. I'm staying positive, but I'm going to just get into the day. Watch the vlogs when I was kind of transitioning to this new school, you know that this school does not have a planning period built into the day. Monday we do a regular day with seven classes, no breaks. I mean, it's literally just breakfast, classes, lunch, breakfast. It's get to work, classes, lunch, leave school after all the other classes are over. Oh, that's what. Which is quite a bit, and definitely not what I'm used to. I'm used to having an hour planning period built into my 7-class schedule, so only teaching 6 classes with 2 preps. So this year I'm teaching 3 preps. But the one thing I've actually really enjoyed about the school, at first I thought I was not gonna like it at all, but we actually get to school an hour before the kids do, and then we leave I think an hour after the kids leave, so it ends up being this like awesome setup, and I stay like motivated and on with the kids all day long. So I really like this schedule actually, and I'm surprised. I thought that was something just was not going to be my jam, but it's worked out really well. So this morning what I need to do is I need to plan my first block environmental science, because we're on this block schedule with only 7 classes. There's like one class that like kind of rotates through, and right now that's my first block environmental science, so they're like 3 classes ahead of everyone else. So I need to plan all of their stuff, and then everything else is kind of ready. So I'll probably carry this camera around and show you guys that, but good. Guys, so obviously something that's going on right now. Today is August 22nd. The rainforest is burning, the Amazon rainforest, which is such a tragedy, but I want to use this opportunity, kind of an impromptu lesson. So right now in environmental science, like I said, I have one block that's crazy ahead of the rest, which is totally fine. But you know, the notes or like the section of this book or the section of this curriculum map are still very much so, how do I want to phrase this? Like introductory, and at this point I've had the kids do graphs, I've had the kids basically I've done kind of all the steps of I've done all the assignments that I would want to have done to see kind of what level they're at, and they've all surpassed my expectations. So I'm not saying I was doing filler assignments with them, but instead of doing a filler assignment about how Earth is a closed system and where do plastics come from, I think today we're going to do a case study with my class that's ahead about the Amazon rainforest burning, because this is obviously the generation of texting and tweeting and Reddit and TikTok and, you know, whatever all the apps are that the kids use. But I don't necessarily think the children know how to pull valuable information out of these situations. So they see something on Twitter, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible, retweet or like, or, you know, sad face. But they don't really know how to do anything. So today I think I'm going to harness this opportunity, even though this is very sad, to teach them how to do some online research about, number one, what can we do? How did this start? Stuff like that. So today's bell ringer for them is when the rainforest fire started, name 2 reasons the fire might have started, and name 2 effects the fire is having. I think my kids are going to nail the effects of a fire starting, but the reasoning might shock them a little bit. But I'm going to just throw together a little worksheet that kind of is a case study about the Amazon rainforest, and we'll go from there. Hello, you guys! It's lunchtime. On our block schedule days, we eat lunch at 10:55, and lunch is literally 20 minutes, so it's kind of a crazy sprint to eat lunch. But I wanted to kind of share with you guys what we were doing today and just show you, because it's been such a good day. So first things first is environmental science block 1 came in, who, like I was saying, is way ahead of everyone else. So what I had them do is grab a Chromebook, and I made up a little worksheet called the Amazon Rainforest Study, and I told them there's, I think, 12 questions. And I told the kids go to 3 different websites and answer all 12 questions at each website. So this way we could see, were the answers changing from website to website? Were we getting reliable information? Are there certain websites that were hiding things that other websites were exposing? And then at the end, they kind of compiled the things they had learned to create an Instagram post that had a caption that was relevant. And I don't know, it just seemed to go really well. The kids got super into it, and it was all about the Amazon rainforest fires that are going on right now. I feel like a lot of the time social media becomes so much like, something's wrong, let's all retweet it, but there's no like, how do we actually fix it, and why is this actually happening, and what are actual solutions? So that was kind of the goal of that today. And I'm really grateful that it kind of fell when it did, because the notes that we're doing, or like this part of the curriculum map for environmental science, I can tell it's a concept my students have already grasped. Now for bio, I was super excited. This went really well. First thing they did is we came in and we're starting our macromolecule unit. We created a macromolecule graphic organizer from the curriculum my school bought. And then they had the best activity. Let me see. There was a sheet for each macromolecule, like an information sheet, and then the kids got a set of interview questions. So I put them in groups of 4. One kid would be the interviewee, and all the other ones would be doing the interview. Is that right? The right terms? I don't know. I hope so. But so they would like ask some questions that, of course, were kind of silly, but they all related back to macromolecule facts, and then they would trade. So they got through all the macromolecules. That went really well. And then a few of them finished early, so I handed them a coloring sheet with a reading on the other side about what, more specific details about the macromolecule. I always have, something on standby in case we finish something early when I don't expect to, and that was one of those situations. But I'm going to make a PB&J, eat lunch, and move on. You guys can literally see all these notebooks stacking up at my desk. I'm horrified. Horrified. So wish me luck. I will see you guys after school. Bye. Hello, you guys. It is 7:01 exactly, and I'm going home, which is so dang exciting. I'm sorry if the lighting gets messed up. My cameras on a tripod in my car. But the day it ended at school, it was a pretty good day. Some of the kids' little behaviors are starting to come out. We kind of had a 2-week honeymoon phase at school, and now the behaviors are coming out. So we're just gonna work extra hard on classroom management and establishing what's appropriate and what's not in the classroom. I think sometimes students mix up a laid back atmosphere / collaborative atmosphere in a classroom with no rules. I got a lot of rules, but I do love group work and collaboration. I'm definitely not do work on your own type of teacher. But that was kind of it for my school day. All the assignments went super well, so I'm really excited. A few people did message me on my Instagram because I posted that I was doing that rainforest study with my first block, asking for the worksheet. I don't know, you guys. I just typed it up on Word. I don't know. That's too much. Y'all putting too much faith in me. But what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, we ended school with a staff meeting, as you guys know. But I really, really like my new teacher staff meetings. They host one once a week, which is super different than my old school. We had one I don't know, once a semester, and they were just like long and terrible with a PowerPoint, and that was it. And these ones are weekly, and it's like, since there's just 6 teachers, or they're chatting about, what can we do to, help each other out. What are ideas that are working in the classroom? What aren't working? What are ways that we can help different students out? So it's just been this amazing collaboration, and I just feel like I already feel like such a better teacher, and I feel so much more motivated at this school to create these unique and collaborative and engaging activities. Whereas at my old school, 2 days out of the week, I would assign just a straight worksheet where maybe they had to use the book to find answers. And I'm like, that's just not my vibe right now. I'm feeling too inspired. But what else was I going to say to you guys? And then after that, my district has a new teacher orientation thing. Really all that is it's like if it's your first year or like your first year back after taking a little break. It's just how the HR department delivers all their helpful and important information. It was 2 hours long, and I honestly thought it was going to be terrible. I was like dreading it all day. I was like, this is going to be awful. Number one, they gave us dinner. Love that. There were cookies. Loved that even more. And the first hour was all about like different iPad techniques, which was awesome. Like this IT guy was really good. Like I was super impressed. He taught me a bunch of things I'd never heard of. A lot of the times when I hear like technology meeting, I'm like, oh my goodness, we're gonna go over how to do Microsoft Word, you know what I mean? But it was awesome. Like it was all doing things on the iPads, which our kids have. We're a 1-to-1 district. Then I'm like, this is relevant, real time, can use it in the classroom now. Like this guy's literally so good. He's going to work for Apple, so I mean, he's top notch. What is the other one I went to? Oh yeah, the other one was like the human resources guy, who's so funny. Like he just makes everyone laugh. He's from New York, and so he has a little New York accent, and yeah, I don't know, it's just funny. That's probably a terrible New York accent. But he just talked about, kind of common issues that come up in the classroom or with administration and how to handle those and like just stuff like that. And I felt like it was really informational. And he talked about kind of what are some problems the schools had before versus, I don't know, or like problems the districts had before, things that are like common issues or little issues and how to avoid them. So I felt like it was actually really helpful, really relevant. This new school district I work for, I've never gone to a meeting where I'm like, this was not worth my time. So I guess who am I to complain? And you also might be looking around my car being like, oh my gosh, the girl went shopping again. Yes, she did. As y'all know, I'm doing science or interactive science notebooks this year. I'm not quite sure how interactive. I'm not sure I'm doing it right. Let's just put it that way. But I am doing science notebooks this year. Every class I use a milk crate for and put all their notebooks in the milk crate. So like if I need to bring the notebooks home, I just grab the milk crate, and that's the easiest way to carry them. So I needed 2 more milk crates for that. And then I grabbed 2 more because I want to have 3 milk crates to hold each class's activities in. So like, I obviously create a bunch of like matching cards or laminated things to use for different projects and yada yada yada. So I wanted a place to store all those things. So I'm giving each subject I teach a milk crate, and I'll hang files in there and use that to kind of keep all these laminated things I've made so I can pull them out from year to year. So that's kind of the 411. I'm also, if you follow me on Instagram, I have given up those little mini like Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks coffees they sell at the gas stations and switched to mixing my own. So I was mixing the big Starbucks jug, almond milk, and some cafe mocha creamer. But I found an almond milk mocha pre-made in a jug. So I'm gonna try that out. Maybe I'll show you guys when I get home. Maybe I won't. But if not, I will see you guys the next time I see you. Seriously, I just want to say thank you so much for hanging on. I know I've been really absent the first 2 weeks of school, but I just had so much going on. To give you a rundown, because I don't know if y'all know, 2 weeks before school started, Dell and I spent the weekend in Tampa. The weekend after that, my cousins came to visit. I was working my summer job, and then the first week of school started, and then it was the second week, and I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't made a YouTube video. But whatever, I'm making one now. But I want to say I love you guys. I love y'all. I will see you when I see you, and thank you so much for holding on. I hope you guys are having a wonderful start of your school year. And if you are a first-year teacher and you are taking 5-hour naps after school every day, that's normal. Okay, I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye.
Stay tuned for day 2 footage.
YouTube channel. If you don't know, my name is Hannah and I'm a high school science teacher in the wonderful state of Florida. This year I am teaching biology, ecology, environmental science, all honors. So it is quite the adventure. Welcome to my classroom. If you are a lover of the vlogs, then maybe you haven't seen this. I did my whole classroom setup video on my Instagram, Apples for Biologist, or I saw my YouTube series that was like classroom setup. I can't remember what I named it. But I want to hop on here today because today is the second day of school. I kind of thought about vlogging the first day of school, but I was like, it's just gonna be too much, you know? I will let you guys know how that goes. But if you haven't, like and subscribe because I'm trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. We're really close. I think we're like 1,430, but I really want 1,500. Probably the next time you guys will see me is lunch because the kids have today's 4 80-minute blocks. So I'll have first and second period, 20 minutes for lunch, then third and fourth, and then the end of the day. So you'll probably see me lunch and then after school. But I'll see you guys later. But before I go, I wanted to show you guys my view outside my classroom. If you watch my classroom setup, you already know, but the sun is rising and it's just so beautiful. So let me show you. Good morning. Hello, you guys. It is lunchtime or 11:11, so make a wish. I'm gonna hop on here and kind of share with you guys, even in my precious 20-minute lunch period, what we've been doing today. So I briefly touched on it earlier, but basically I want to show you guys because we've been having a lot of fun with it. Let me see. So the first thing we've been doing is playing like an observations game where I put a picture up, I ask the kids questions, put the picture up again for 10 more seconds, they ask harder questions, and then I put the picture up again for another 10 seconds and the questions get even harder. And so that was a really fun way to kind of like, introduce how important observations are in the world of science. Then we did some notes, and these were nothing fancy. It was like, what's an observation versus an inference? What's a claim, reasoning, evidence, stuff like that. Just super simple science terminology. But it was really great to get them used to coming in, doing a bell ringer, and then taking notes, and then starting an activity. But all the notes and activities and bell ringer were all like stuff that you can do in the first week of school that are just kind of general terms, but also stuff they're going to use throughout the year. Then what are we going to do? Oh yeah, then I gave them a worksheet that I had gotten the idea from a girl named Chloe on Instagram. Oh, sorry you guys. A girl named Chloe on Instagram. I'll probably link her bio because it was such a good idea. The kids just came up with a scientific claim about you, of course, school appropriate. And then they came up with the reasoning as to why the claim was the way that it was. And then they came up with a piece of evidence for it. And then after that, they did a classroom scavenger hunt. You guys, I'm living for these things. I caved and bought them at the Target dollar spot, and they are amazing, these clear plastic things. I just put the worksheets that I want them to do in here, and so I can slip like 2 worksheets in at a time. It's kept everything so organized, so nice and neat, like all my papers, none of them are crumpled, so I highly recommend these things. Then what did we do? Oh yeah, so first period, they were a little behind, so they just did the claims about me and then the classroom scavenger hunt, but that was really great because it kind of gave them a chance to show how I expect them to do their work while also getting to know my room, like where's the pencil sharpener, where is late work bin, where is, you know, yada, yada, yada. Then my next class, they were able to get a little ahead. We did a little reading on what is proto-science versus pseudoscience versus science versus non-science, which is just, number 1, great stuff to know. Number 2, it is a standard. And, sorry, I need to push